Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Bootleg Brethren. I'm your captain and today we'll be taking a look at a Mars converter. Now, the Mars converters are a very difficult line to get a hold of. I'm actually surprised I even found it wherever I found it. I'll give you a secret. I found it at Ross. And it actually didn't cost me that much. It was a relatively easy figure to get, and I like it. It's pretty nice. I mean, well, despite the fact that it's obviously a bootleg, and this figure is kind of driving the point all the way down. But the figure itself, I actually really like. This is Moss Converters T-Rex. Yeah, I know. They really slayed it with the name. And some other names that they have made, which are really funny, is we've got Goldie Dragon, Bony Stegosaur, Valve Charger, Accelerator, Drifter, Combat Tank, and Jet Fighter. Oh, Jet Fighter. And there's Combat Tank. You could probably see on the back of the box where they pretty much completely just gave up on some of the names. Although I really do like the names. I even love the figures much better. So here's the figure in all of its glory. It's actually a very well put together figure. It's satisfyingly chunky and heavy. The painting and sculpting is beautiful. Although I hate how they sculpted his jaw as one solid piece. There's also a lot of ugly swirls in the plastic. I think that's one right there. Yep, that's one right there. The mustard yellow isn't really appreciated, but it does make this whole figure pop. And it's kind of flimsy, but it does its best to stay together as much as possible. And the joints are relatively chunky. I mean, the biggest problem I have with the joints is that they don't have a satisfying sound to them. No clicks, just creaks. But this is only just the robot mode, so what do you think he would be in his robot mode? Screw it. Just get into the transformation already. Sadly, this figure is so big that I can't really transform him on the reviewing station, so I'm going to have to transform him here. All right, let's cue the music. You know what? I'm really liking this guy. I mean, he's pretty solid and chunky, and he's pretty awesome. Although he's got some very limited pose ability. I mean, he has no rotations in the head. He does have rotation. Oh yeah, here's a problem. Chest doesn't clip in, so this kind of makes the posing of the arms a little harder. But he does get a rotation at the arm. He gets a double elbow bend. He gets a rotation at the... I guess it's a elbow rotation. And we got a hinge at the hand and a hinge at the robot foot. And that's the same for the other side. We also do get some hinge joints and some ball joints on these kibble things, but who really cares? We get a bend at the knee, and that's actually the only thing that's ratcheted on this figure. Meanwhile, we have a rotation at the knee as well. And then we have sort of just toe stuff, but that's mainly for the transformation. And this guy's pretty solid, although really all the back stuff doesn't plug in. The chest doesn't plug in. And he did come with, let me get it. He did come with this epic looking sword, and it fits just nicely into his hand. But during dinosaur mode, I guess, there's really no place for this, so why bother having it? Overall, the figure itself is not bad. This would be something I would give to a friend of mine who loves Transformers but really couldn't be bothered to buy some legitimate ones, especially the fact that they're really, really pricey. You guys can get this guy at dollar stores, Targets, Walmarts, Ross, really just anywhere that would sell toys like this. And that's all for today. I thank you all so much for joining me on this episode of the Bootleg Brethren. This guy is probably going to end up sitting up on my wall along with my Bootleg Godzilla and the 4 mini-cons. Now note, I do know that the first video that I ever reviewed were those mini-cons, but I want to review that video again so then I can make it even clearer what the figures look like and how they transform, because it was my first time doing it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode of the Bootleg Brethren. This guy was actually a really, really cool treat to get. And I actually have a question for you guys. Do you guys want me to review military figure that I found at Big Lots? Or do you guys want to have me review a McDonald's Bakugan? Let me know in the comments, and thank you all so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Bootleg Brethren.